Welcome to the UMBC Cybersecurity Information Session, and today's webinar will be presented by Dr. Rick Forno, Program Director for the Cybersecurity Graduate Program and Assistant Director for the UMBC Center for Cybersecurity, along with Mr. Ben Cheriotti, Assistant Program Director for the Cybersecurity Program at Shady Grove. Before we get started, I have a few administrative announcements I'd like to share. If you have any technical issues during today's presentation, you can call GoToWebinar support line at 1-800-263-6317. If you have questions at the end or during the session, please post them at any time in the question dialog box during the presentation to the right. We will monitor that function, and questions will be addressed later in the question and answer period at the end of the presentation. At the end of the webinar, a brief question survey will pop up on your screen. We ask that you complete it because this survey will help us serve you better with future webinars. Lastly, this webinar is being recorded and the link will be posted within a couple weeks to umbc.edu/cyber. So now it's time to hand it over to Dr. Forno.
Okay, Lisa, thank you very much. And bear with me while I set up the presentation. Okay, everybody, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for this information session about the Graduate Cybersecurity Program at UMBC. UMBC has one program, but we operate at two different locations. We started at UMBC's main campus in Catonsville, Maryland, which is just south of Baltimore. And about a year ago, we launched the same program at the universities of Shady Grove and Rockville, Maryland. Both of these campuses are strategically located near centers of major cybersecurity research and employment. Main campus is located about 8 miles from Fort Meade, where you've got NSA, U.S. Cyber Command, and DISA. And the universities at Shady Grove and Rockville is quite close to the National Institute of Standards and Technology and the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. So we truly are blessed by geography in terms of our program's location and what we can bring to our students. As I mentioned, both of us are located near centers of excellence. You can see here where we are. Both are fairly convenient locations. For those of you who do not know about UMBC, we are again an up-and-coming university for 5 consecutive years now. We are known for our entrepreneurial spirit in educational innovation, the culture of our faculty and our students, and really just we're a technical university with a very strong liberal arts feel to it, a small college feel to it. And that's really something that our students like because they have that close connection with fellow students for networking and learning. We are one of the few schools in the country and in Maryland that are a designated center of academic excellence in both cybersecurity education and cybersecurity research by the National Security Agency. Our faculty, many programs have adjunct faculty that teach by, in the evenings or on weekends, as does ours. But our faculty are committed towards educational excellence. They care about our students. They care about the discipline. They don't just view teaching as an additional source of income. They want to share lessons learned and see students succeed. And that's a really wonderful opportunity for our students, many of which are working in the cybersecurity field already. Our faculty will bring the work they're doing by day into the classroom in the evening. And that synergy really provides a more meaningful classroom and course experience to our students because of that close relationship. Our faculty are name recognized. Their bios are on our website. I am extremely proud of them, their background, and what they've done. Several of them are thought leaders in the cybersecurity and cyber warfare community, and many of us, myself included, have really been around since the beginning of this field in its present iteration. So we've seen a lot, and we want to share what we've learned over the years with our students. Some of our graduates, we have testimonials on our website. You can read them and their little video blurbs as well. But to make a long story short, our students, our graduates are very excited about what they've learned, what they do, and what they've experienced during their time here at UMBC. So, who is cybersecurity at UMBC oriented towards? Well, we're primarily aimed at professionals working in the industry. Ideally, you're working in the IT or cybersecurity workforce already, or have a very strong IT background coming out of undergraduate schools. So if you come out of a computer science program and you're looking to carry on to a master's degree, you'll be attracted to us. We hope that our students are looking to aspire into management and leadership positions in the cybersecurity profession. Over time, we are looking to enhance professional development for our students. We hope students come to us seeking an interdisciplinary approach to cybersecurity, which means not just the hands-on technical cybersecurity skills, but also that those capabilities that help allow students to function in the workplace, in the real world, put those skills into practice. You can be the best geek in the world, but if you don't know how to take those skills, that knowledge, and apply it as part of a team, communicate well with your colleagues or your bosses, you'll always have a great job, but you may not have a long-term career. And we want to groom you for a long-term career. And finally, our program does not require you to take a formal master's thesis. This is not a research-intensive master's program. If you are interested in a formal master's thesis that involves significant new research, you can look at our master's in computer science, but that's outside the scope of this particular webinar. Cybersecurity touches pretty much every aspect of modern society. Businesses, governments, private sector, medicine, you name it. So regardless of where you're working or your job title, chances are cybersecurity is going to come into play somewhere along the way. And that's part of both the beauty and the challenge of developing and running a cybersecurity program, is ensuring that that interdisciplinary field translates into an interdisciplinary classroom experience to be attractive and meaningful to students regardless of which background you're coming from and where you're working. So UMBC offers two programs in two graduate programs in cybersecurity. First is our MPS in cybersecurity. This is a Master's in Professional Studies, a full 30-credit master's degree. It comprises of core courses and electives. The core courses, as you look at it, and we'll slightly tweak these a little bit down the road, but basically the structure is going to be the same. The courses in the core are a mix of cybersecurity discipline and also those soft skills I mentioned earlier to allow you to put that discipline knowledge into practice. The goal is to give you a solid foundation in cybersecurity and solid foundations in professional competencies, if you will. But then beyond the core, we then allow students to specialize based on their particular interests or workplace needs. If you are more technically inclined and you're working in a security operations center, or you're doing research and you're more of a geek, you might consider taking courses like malware analysis or mobile device security or network security. If you're more of a policy person and you're doing intelligence analysis or coming from a criminal justice background or just a basic management background, you might look at some of the other non-technical courses such as global cyber capabilities and trends. What are other countries doing in the cyber realm, or cyber warfare? What are the laws of say, and how do we conduct warfare in cyberspace? We hear a lot of these terms bandied about in the media. Well, what do they mean? So through the MPS, we allow you to have a solid core and then the ability to specialize into a technical or non-technical or blended track of electives based on your specific needs. And that'll really afford students as much flexibility as possible to really customize a program that works for them. So this is the master's degree. Built into the master's degree is a 4-course graduate certificate in cybersecurity strategy and policy. These 4 courses, as you see here, are also included in the master's. So you could start with the certificate, take these 4 courses, earn your certificate, and then transfer those 4 courses back into the master's degree. And if you think about it, when you complete your 4-course certificate, you're almost halfway done to your master's. So why not continue on? You can apply either to the master's program or the certificate. They're very closely linked. As far as transfer credit goes, we do accept transfer credits. You may transfer up to 6 courses, 6 graduate credits into our program, provided they've not been used for another earned degree. So if you have earned an MBA somewhere, none of those courses can be transferred. But if you were enrolled in an MBA course and didn't complete that degree, some of those courses may be applicable and possibly transferred here. To transfer courses, you need to contact your program director, either myself or Ben, and we'll look at the request. You'll need to include the description of the course, the syllabus, and the number of credit hours. We may not accept a course for all the credit hours that the originating institution may have granted, but you can transfer in up to 6 graduate credits. We also have MOUs, agreements, with certain schools to take more credits. And if you're from one of those programs, we'll certainly work with you down the road after you've been admitted. As far as course transfers, you can do that anytime you want, either before you're admitted or ideally after you've been admitted and we discuss advising. So why come to UMBC? Cybersecurity is all the rage. A lot of schools, a lot of programs do offer cybersecurity programs. Well, as I mentioned before, our courses are not cookie-cutter based syllabi that once developed never change. They are constantly refined and adapted to evolve with the discipline and with the cybersecurity environment. I mentioned our faculty are current practitioners. They bring their experience by day into the classroom at night, and their name recognized. I don't know about you, but when I was an undergrad student, even in grad school, knowing that the person in the front of the class lecturing to us was a practitioner in the field made it far more meaningful to me, because I knew that person had, to use the term, boots on the ground. They had been there. They know the industry. They knew firsthand what they were teaching us. It wasn't book learning. It was actual applied learning. And that made a big difference to me, and it makes a big difference to our students. Our schedule is very flexible. Our courses are primarily seminar, but we do offer some hybrid courses that meet semi-regularly. And we have the capability for students who meet certain criteria or have specific interests to draw upon the broader computer science or information systems department's course catalogs for electives. So if you are, for example, working in the cryptography field, although we don't have a cryptography program or cryptography course in this program, we do have several cryptography courses in computer science, and you will be able to take courses from there and apply them as electives into this program. So we have that broader flexibility of our university graduate catalog, and that's very helpful for students with specific educational or professional interests. Beyond the classroom, students at UMBC, we are a research institution, so you have full access to our many campus activities, some of which are listed here. Participate in our cyber defense team. They go around the region competing in cyber war games, such as the upcoming Maryland Cyber Challenge next week. We have cybersecurity speakers every now and then. For example, last week we had the CEO of Northrop Grumman speak to a very full lecture hall discussing, among other things, their role in recruiting talent for the cybersecurity mission. Or participate in our cyber defense lab. It's a research group that discusses bleeding edge technologies, research developments. It conducts peer review of students' work, and it's another way to broaden your exposure to the cybersecurity discipline. And that's just for starters. UMBC is also very well connected with the local industry, both for research support and program support and careers. We do offer we participate in a internship program at the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence out in Rockville. We have 2 students out there at the moment. UMBC is a very strong career services center that conducts corporate visibility days and other events that bring companies to campus to conduct one-on-one interviews and discussions and briefings with students looking to, looking for work, looking for meaningful employment after graduation. UMBC also hosts a cybersecurity incubator in our research park. We've got over 40 companies involved in cybersecurity work over there in various stages of startup. Many of them want to work with our students as interns or possible positions down the road as employees. Okay, that's on campus. Okay, we have that as part of our offerings to our students. And as a major university in the university system, we have close partnerships with all sorts of government, private sector organizations for recruiting and hiring and things like that. We are very prominent in the cybersecurity space. We're well known in Maryland. A UMBC degree is highly sought after by employers, and it looks, we have wonderful relationships with all of these. As far as going forward, down the road, we are always expanding our course and program offerings, whether it's new courses, special topics on a topic of interest to students or to meet, in response to current headlines. We are looking at another certificate, a graduate certificate that is geared towards the private sector, that's built around the various frameworks of analyzing cybersecurity risk. We are engaged in all sorts of local, state, and federal cybersecurity initiatives, and we try wherever possible to leverage those back into this program to directly benefit our students. And that's paid off very well for our students and the university as a whole. In terms of financial aid, there's more information on the website, but we have 2 scholarship programs that are available to students pursuing cybersecurity education. One is the Department of Defense Information Assurance Scholarship Program, and the other is the Federal Cyber Corps Scholarship for Service, or SFS. In short, both of these programs pay for full tuition, offer a professional stipend, require internships, offer additional funding for conferences and books and equipment, and will require you to pay back the government for each year that you're funded. So in terms of the Cyber Corps SFS program, if you're funded for 3 years, you would owe the government 3 years worth of service working in a cybersecurity related position. Whether it's DoD or somewhere else, that's up to you. But the SFS scholarship is a very prestigious program. We are very happy to have become part of it, and we have a very active student cohort in that program, in that particular scholarship program. Students have come to us over the years with a lot of questions that we try to consolidate and make it simpler to answer by throwing them up there up front to head off confusion down the road. Normally, students that are working full-time take 1 or 2 courses per semester. That's a good load for many students. If you're not working full-time, you could be a full-time student and take 3 courses. That's certainly an option. We do have some military folks that are taking 3 or 4 courses because they're actually assigned to UMBC for the exclusive purpose of getting their degree done. We do not have a set order of courses per se. So once you're in the program, there are you pretty much can take whatever courses are available and meet your program requirements. The only prerequisite is that you cannot take your capstone course, which is Cyber 624, until you've done your other cyber courses. But that makes sense because that's the capstone, and the capstones are usually taken at the end of a program, not the beginning. It is essential for students to have graduate level research and writing skills. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you have been out of school for a while, or if you're not sure about how your abilities are in terms of research and writing, look around, visit our library, visit our writing center, get some assistance. Although we're a professional master's program, we are a UMBC graduate program, and that means we expect students to have graduate level research and writing skills to do well in our program. Please note that students between the two campuses cannot mix and match courses between Shady Grove and main campus. There are exceptions at times, and we handle them on a case-by-case basis. But by and large, if you are enrolled at main campus, you cannot take courses at Shady Grove and vice versa. As I said, we do handle these on a case-by-case basis, but that is the current practice. As far as scheduling goes, courses in the cybersecurity program meet weekly, once a week for 15 weeks. In the evenings, we have 3 start times, 4:30, 6 o'clock, and 7:10. So each course meets one night a week for 15 weeks, so you can take 2 courses a week if you wanted. We have experimented with courses running on weekends. We're currently running a course on mobile security that meets on Saturday mornings out at the Shady Grove campus, and that's gone over very well with students. We may expand offerings on Saturdays if that's what students are looking for. I mentioned scholarships, the IASP and SFS scholarship programs. This website link will give you more information about what they offer and how to apply. The deadline for possible spring funding is, I believe, the middle of November. There is 1, possibly 2 spots available for SFS if you are interested. Please note that in both of these scholarship opportunities, you must be a U.S. citizen and you cannot be working. So if you're employed somewhere, you'd have to give up that job to be funded under these scholarship programs. As far as admissions go, ideally we're looking for students or applicants that have a bachelor's degree in a technical field, computer science, engineering, math, things like that. That said, given that cybersecurity is an interdisciplinary field, we don't restrict the degrees to just those fields. We have students who come here with criminal justice backgrounds or anthropology backgrounds. We look at the whole person's application package, not just their degree. Although having a strong technical degree helps, it's not a deal breaker if you don't. We look at your degree, your academic progression, your work experience, your resume, all that stuff, and we make an admissions decision based on that, not just the degree. The target GPA for applicants should be a 3.0 GPA, which is a B. You will also need a 3.0, a B, to remain in good standing here as well. So having a B average is good. For domestic students, we do not require a GRE, so that might be of interest. International students will require GREs and the various language testings, TOEFLs, or the IELTS scores. As far as application, you can apply online or via paper, and the fee is listed. We are still accepting applications for spring. The deadline is December 1st. We tend to turn applications around pretty quickly. So once the application has been received in its entirety and it's complete and the graduate school tells us it is ready for review, we turn those around pretty fast. So you would know ideally before the holidays, but don't hold me to it. As far as your application materials, you see what's listed. We will need official transcripts for each college, university you've attended. Unofficial transcripts are okay for the certificate and to be reviewed for the master's, but we need to have official transcripts for the master's degree on file. As I mentioned, we review applications. Once all the documents have been received, we're told they're ready for review. We evaluate the applications, make a recommendation, and then the graduate school will notify the students. Both main campus and Shady Grove hosts program orientations in January before the semester starts, and that's really just to get you new students familiar with the campus and the various student services that are offered. So if you're on main campus, you'll meet me, you'll meet Lisa Gambino. If you are enrolled at Shady Grove, you would meet Men Chariati and Ashley Waters. The UMBC Graduate School does host a separate orientation, which is certainly an option if you wish to attend, but it's not required. The professional programs, we run things a little bit differently, but you're more than welcome to attend the graduate school orientation as well. Spring 15, our classes begin on January 26th, which is can't come soon enough for some students. You can visit our website to look for the latest fees and financial information. Please visit Student Business Services at umbc.edu/sbs. So it's a very straightforward process for applying and then having your application reviewed and then notified whether or not you've been admitted. As far as enrollment and registration status, I mentioned this before, full-time is 9 credits, part-time is anything less than that. Most of our students take 1 or 2 courses, so that will be 3 or 6 credits per semester. You must have continuous registration unless you have requested a leave of absence, and that's paperwork you would file with the program in the graduate school that says, I'm taking leave of absence for a certain period of time. I mentioned academic standards. You need to maintain a 3.0 GPA and abide by the various UMBC policies and procedures on academic integrity, maintaining matriculation, and standard graduate school policies and procedures. I mentioned that we are one program with 2 campuses. So depending which campus you're at, the contact information for the person in question, or the people in question, is shown here. As the program director, I'm certainly happy to address questions about the entire program or both campuses, but when it comes to advising and campus-specific type stuff, I would certainly encourage you to contact either myself for main campus or Ben Shariati at Shady Grove for questions about the program, the curriculum, the student experience, things like that. If you have questions about the application process, paperwork, financial aid, dates, deadlines, administrative type things, for main campus students, please direct those to Lisa Gambino. And for those students who are at Shady Grove or looking to enroll at Shady Grove, you would direct those questions to Ashley Waters, who's out there as well. We are very prompt in responding to questions and inquiries, so we will certainly respond appropriately and give you the information you need. And if we don't know something, we will find out who does. And with that, I believe that is the end of my session, yes. And Lisa, do we have any questions that have come in?
Thank you very much, Rick. And we do have a couple questions, one being, can I apply and study for the cybersecurity certificate while I'm a full-time student at UMBC?
That's a good question. No, you cannot be dual enrolled in both an undergraduate and a graduate program. You could take a course in the cybersecurity program if you'd want, and I would suggest you contact me directly by email and we can discuss your situation.
Okay, thank you. Next question. I have a CISSP certificate. Can I transfer it into the MPS or graduate certificate program for credit?
No, that's actually another question I need to add to our FAQ. We cannot accept professional certifications at the graduate level, so the answer will be no, we could not accept it.
Okay, thank you. And next question, does UMBC offer a cybersecurity PhD program?
We do not offer a cybersecurity PhD program. However, we have had students that are enrolled in the computer science PhD program that have focused on cybersecurity related themes, forensics and cloud computing security, things like that. So UMBC as an institution does. This program does not, but we do work quite closely with the Department of Computer Science because we are located in the Department of Computer Science.
Okay, I know you mentioned this in your presentation, but I have the question again. Can I take courses both at UMBC's main campus and universities at Shady Grove?
We handle requests for those on a case-by-case basis, but the general practice is that no, you would not be taking courses and mixing and matching. If there is an extenuating circumstance, we will certainly be happy to talk with you about it and see what we can do. But the general rule is no, you cannot mix and match.
Thank you. And that looks like that's all the questions for today. I just wanted to remind everyone that we will be sending you a copy of this presentation, and if you have any additional questions, you can email me directly following the presentation. And so thank you to everyone who participated. We hope you found this helpful. And Rick, I'll give you the last line. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Lisa, and thank you, Ben and Ashley out at Shady Grove for being on the line as well. And with that, we look forward to seeing your applications. If you have questions, please contact us, and we are here to help. So look forward to seeing some of you on campus in the springtime. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of the day.